The frost of winter's snow continues to descend down, forever blanketing the city of Ludendorff in what should be a soft, white expanse of beauty, but is instead turned dull gray and blackened by all the machinery, the oil, the soot, and the various other fluids. You are currently on your way back to Merrick's original workshop. Very, very awkwardly quiet, I think, through the snow and ice.
There's definitely a lot of tension here.
As you arrive to the fairly run-down former establishment, you can see that it doesn't look like anyone is home. It seems like it's not necessarily abandoned, but not in service. Like it's not an active place of business, but it's a little too good of repair, a little too well looked after in order for that to be true.
I'm not saying passive investigation of 31, but I am definitely run a detect magic, do a search, looking for magical defenses or otherwise.
You don't find any magical defenses. You do see that there are a lot of mechanical defenses, lots of various things to keep people out. The door is, you can tell there's some rigged up mechanisms and things, sensors, and lots and lots of locks.
Do you want me to make that thieves check, or can we use my passive here?
I mean, I think you can take some time and to start. So Merrick's will lean down and start kind of beginning to fiddle with the doors and doing things in the middle of the street.
While he's doing it, I'll lean over, and while he's working, I'll say, "Are you certain that this person doesn't harbor enough resentment to you with a direct link to Victra to turn on you for revenge's sake?"
I help bring to life.
I'm not sure that's a good description of this, but all right. I just think that
The answer to your question is no.
Walt leans back.
I'll just use my passive investigation to observe what he's doing and see if there's any.
Yeah, I'm looking at things out in the street.
Yeah, so Merrick's is currently knelt down in front of a door, clearly dealing with some locks in the center of a street. It's not busy.
Just to make life easier. Invisibility.
Okay, all right. That doesn't help as much as it normally would, because the snow kind of alights upon you now and again, but it keeps you obscured enough that with elements where you kind of stand there. Just
Yeah, I'm standing sort of one direction down the street, won't be able to see that there's anybody there.
and no one's going to turn back.
I'm just going to stand and stare at the door and watch as things and just look for, is there any mechanisms or traps or things happening that, and let him know if it.
Like, as he works, is anything moving up above?
I mean, frankly, it's definitely going to be I am working on this very complicated lock, and you're like, there's a complicated lock right there. Thank you, Mel. Yes, good job. No, I'm just.
You just think there's a lock there.
It appears to be some kind of door.
I think we might be able to enter the building through it.
You do disarm several spring locks with, you can see like little bits of kind of green fluid on the ends of it, a couple of electrical discharging traps, and a few other things. And as the door finally becomes able to be opened, you also remove the pull string that's attached to the bottom of it as well, which is likely rigged to something further in the building.
No.
But the door, you are fairly confident the door is no longer free of traps. But as you go to open it, Melf is just kind of like, and he just goes ahead and removes one last little gear that was set up.
You are the dungeon master.
You can't get him,
No, absolutely. I appreciate that, thank you.
But the door is currently disarmed of all of the various things in its way.
Why didn't we just knock?
Because it would have electrocuted you and triggered 3 alarms. But, as we step in, I can certainly say hello.
So as you open the door, you see a large 2 iron cylinders, particularly positioned directly at you, hanging off of the ceiling with a sort of pull mechanism that runs down to the door.
Would that have been the?
Yeah, that would have been the
shotgun to the face.
Holy cock.
But as you open the door and kind of say,
a blast.
hello, it is dark, but it is warm. Like there's definitely some heat going through here, and you can see that there is one of those older kind of furnaces that kind of runs pipes along throughout the building that keeps it nice and heated. And it obviously has been tended to, as you can see, a little bit of a warm orange glow in the bottom of it. But stepping into the creaky wooden floored building, you can hear the hissing of steam and the clockwork mechanisms kind of off in the distance. You currently are all seeming to look like merchants.
Yes. Now, I am still invisible because you are. Visibility would have been triggered. I would have said hello, but I would actually say, actually, Milf, this is kind of your thing. Why don't you, I'll be right there with you. I'm just saying.
Are we being sneaky and looking for traps, or are we just going to go try and find this guy?
I am not, I don't think we need to hide. I don't want us to accidentally be destroyed by random traps.
Okay. Upstairs? Is that where we're headed?
Yeah.
Okay. So probably the thing to do is stop, look at the stairs, wooden stair construction, railing, banister.
Then there's a steel banister.
Okay. So look at it. Examine, does it look like it's a collapsible stair? Does it look like there's a stair that's going to have a little bit more of a gap than any of the others? Are there multiple pieces of wood that make them so there'd be pressure plates in there? Is that, how is it put together?
There are gaps between each of the stairs as they are ascended, about the teeniest amount, but it's definitely more than there needs to be.
And it's wooden steps, but a metal railing.
Yes.
So I'm guessing there's some sort of wiring at the top that probably has electrical. There's going to be electrical glyph or something like that. Is how I would think of it.
Well, I will say, as you do kind of examine the railing, you do kind of just your ears perk as you hear a little humming, buzz coming off of the railing.
Obviously, alert everyone that paid the railing is probably some sort of glyph with lightning, I believe.
What's on the ceiling above the staircase?
Above the staircase, there does appear to be sort of like a hatch of some sort, like an attic kind of hatch.
Okay.
It's closed at the moment.
Okay. But no forest of spears, no large...
Not that you can see, lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I could fly up the stairs, but I'm not sure that there could be magical traps that are broken by passing through them or something. So I am not a thief, but I'm sure one of these steps is going to depress probably the third one up or something like that, and you're going to get electrocuted on there, or it's maybe just a discharge right there.
If he pointed, it could be blades coming out from the stairs.
I mean, if he points me at the thing, I can the thieves' tools.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
So basically, it's especially because I'm invisible, what we'd see is you'd be saying, I think the third step there, and you'd see like just, So you all follow his lead.
You find a wiring mechanism that there's little what appear to be the nails of the wooden construction appear to be tied into the railing, and there's an electrical charge being run through the whole thing.
Is it every step or just?
It is every step. The third step does actually have some kind of depression plate, and you do kind of see the glint of metal beneath the slats
Blaze
stairs. Yeah,
I will be doing the typical level thing. Is I'll be standing by the door. When we close the door, I will then find a window or a crack or something that I can review the street to make sure that no one is following us.
Well, as far as you can tell, no one seems to be following you.
But that's how I'll be positioned.
Yeah, this is kind of a remote part of the city for now. But you feel that you have resolved what's going on with the stairway, at least.
So, yeah, I'll go ahead and go up the first two steps and just say, okay, I'm going to take one for the team here, and then step over the third one and just say, hey, be careful. Proceed cautiously, scanning the steps I'm going before I step. Again, kind of looking for the similar kind of pattern, maybe that will repeat in case you skip a step. And then this hatch above that Elminster saw, is that... does it just look like something as simple as it pushes like a lid that opens up into an attic? Okay. From examining it from where I'm at, can I tell if it's been used recently? Are there any scrape marks?
It does appear to have been used fairly recently, yeah.
Okay. About 2 feet by 2.5 feet?
Yeah, it's like your standard attic kind of doorway, yeah.
All right, I'll continue proceeding up there. Before I get directly under it, I'm going to stop. Just going to ask everyone to like be quiet and listen and see if I hear any breathing, any shuffling, any movement or something.
Give me a perception check.
Sure. Oh, great rolling on my part, as per usual. But it's a 16. I rolled a 3.
I think with a 16, I think you would just hear like creaking from above.
All right.
All right, I'll kind of...
Okay.
There's a good chance whatever's up there knows we're here.
Oh, they should. Hey, we're down here. I mean, we're not trying to be unknown. We're just trying not to get blown up accidentally.
I would like to say one thing. I'm trying to be unknown, so you will address me by my real name.
Of course.
Georgina Frontara.
I am a man.
Yes.
Can't you tell by my voice? Axel.
Frank.
Oh, that's so great.
All right, Axel. That little grease thing.
Yeah, you got it. So, Axel, hold us. What?
Okay, yeah. Good point. Hey, whoever's up in the little crawlway space up there, we just would like to talk. Anyone want to come down and chat?
I think, giving it you wait about a minute.
Would you like to come down and
To come chat? No,
You wait about a minute, and then you see
far away from home. It's very cold.
the attic kind of slide a little bit, and a sort of metallic device kind of moves itself out. It's got 2 little metal prongs on one end. You're not really sure what it is, but it looks like it's being brandished in a very hostile manner, and you can't really see in the...
Oh, so we stuck a device out at me, like a wand, maybe, or...
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yes, a wand. And as it
Don't check.
steps out of you do hear a voice from...
I'm like, I'm John of Athas Lois. We mean no harm.
Is this really how you're talking?
We're supposed to be. My deception is a -1. It's a -1.
We were just here for the marvelous bargains in the market.
I don't believe you that it's a -1.
Double check. Yep, -1.
There is nothing for you here. Be gone.
That color?
I'll drop the invisibility. Might be something for me here.
Are you currently looking as yourself?
Yeah, I've got my face.
Okay. Surprise. Okay. You see
What you mean, surprise round? Because surprise.
You see like the device kind of like shake slightly as if they nearly pulled the trigger in astonishment. And then it fully slides out, and a face is revealed. Those of you with a kind of infravision, dark vision, are treated to a very full picture of a titan of a man, muscular in a great deal, but with like this yellow skin that sort of barely stretches over the musculature. You can see like the way the muscle is presented, kind of come through almost as if it is translucent flesh. There's a mossy kind of black matted hair that just runs down along all sides, and 2 bright blue eyes that gaze out of the darkness, and these sort of sallow black thin lips that open to reveal a perfect set of white teeth. Marix. Adam. He'll kind of slam down, and he's wearing a sort of a what one would consider like a tunic, sort of like the sort of just clothes, nothing too crazy. Might possibly like bed clothes, like something he was perhaps resting in. And he is still holding this device, but he does keep it lower in a non-hostile, non-confrontational manner. Why have you returned here?
It's a bit of a long story. Mind if make some tea for my friends?
He kind of looks at each and every one of you.
I'll be happy to make introductions. It'd just be nice to not be standing here on the deadly staircase.
Yeah.
Nice work, by the way.
I learned from the best, as it were.
Mitra. Yeah, no, I know. No, he doesn't actually say that.
You're such a cut up.
That's
Oh, this place is really nice. It must have cost you an arm and a leg.
Oh my God.
I'm stumped. I can't think of any more.
Hey, you let him get breakfast.
I like, fine. You guys are so funny. You're leaving me in stitches. Let's get.
I would just like to say I'd like to hand.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, would you like a shoulder to cry on?
Look great hand.
Yeah.
Well, my dear.
Is the door ajar? And there's his brain in it.
Yeah. No. We're back here. He was waving off.
We got them all out. All right.
Oh, no, we did.
Right this way. I think I have something with flavor.
You got water, I'll do. I can cleanse.
Author I have. He'll kind of lead you to like this up into the attic where he's got like this sort of like room. There's a little table, there's a bed, there's some trinkets, some things. Very, very simple, very nondescript, and it's
Quasimodo-esque.
very much so, yeah.
I'm going to, you see the swirl, a time cog kind of appear in front of the door. I'm just going to push the cog up against the door, and it's going to sink in, and I'm going to cast the alarm spell on the door. And then I'll go upstairs and do it. Okay.
There have been some context clues, obviously, but I recognize it as also being reborn. Okay.
As he begins to enact some light, and kind of turning on, turning some valves, and you hear it's kind of hissing sound as lights begin to erupt around the room. You do see that there are like very clear stitch marks all across the body, up and down, kind of running crisscross, almost like a road map.
Gauging by your reaction, Merrick's told you of what I am.
Prince Bite, Bright Flame, King Merrick, excuse me, Lowholt, King Lowholt, Elminster of Shadowdale, and Axel, by the way. I forgot you were on with this, guys. I'm a little shit.
I mean, those names really mean nothing. But
of course, I know. That's why I was. Still, I'm just saying. I'm introducing my friend Sisters Adam.
I actually do not speak with an accent of your land. Well, men. No, stick up.
I'm sure you were completely fooled by it.
He will grip it, and there will be sort of like a creaking as the strength of this creature.
I'm not that impressed.
It is nice to meet you. We'll become as friends.
I'll be like, I noticed the striations, the cable crossovers. It's pretty good.
Right.
I'm just going to quickly, again, passive investigation 31. I mean, like, what do I pick up from the room? Like, I mean, what's he been doing here?
It seems like he's been living here. Very much, very clear to you, but you also see the signs that others may be using this place as well. Mm-hmm. You see like kind of blankets shoved up against the side, kind of makeshift mattresses that have been rolled and set aside as well. And you can also see that there are sort of the various depressions of like boot prints and things around. It's not very well cleaned, but you can see that there have definitely been movement of others in this location.
So I used it as a workshop. Has anyone been doing artifice of any sort here?
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay. And does the overall vibe of the place feel impoverished desperation? Doing okay?
I'd say it's doing okay. Like it's doing okay. It's living comfortably, but without excess.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. But
luxury is not a thing, but right. There's no like suffering. Like it's
no like, oh my goodness, they're going to come for us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to, if he has water, I have a flask that I'm just putting a drop of into things that will make it hot and, flavor.
You have been gone a long time.
Longer than I would have liked.
And your arrival is interesting in its timing.
Why is that?
Surely,
Morty had some interesting things to say, but
I'm sure he did. You are returning in a time where Victra is on the hunt.
Question to Devin before I respond to that. Has Ravenloft been drained of magic?
Not that you're aware of.
And is it that weird that it's not, if the other planes were?
Not necessarily. Ravenloft is a demiplane within a plane.
Then
It's not its own.
Okay, I just wanted to check, because that would actually change the vibe of the
Understand, it's not a crystal sphere.
I mean, if I were the DM, I would have given you inspiration for that thought, but I'm not the DM.
I mean, if I didn't already have to, I love Rick. Ask Flare. How recently has this occurred? 4 days?
It's been about several days now.
Yeah, we might have.
Something tipped her off that Elise was going to be returning. She has laid a trap. My sources told me as such. And so I and many others like me have infiltrated her minions and are ready and waiting to apprehend her when she falls for the trap. And Victor believes that it is loyal minions who will bring her to the castle.
I'd like to insight this.
Yes, but it will be my people who will do so. And perhaps grant her a modicum of chance to escape.
19.
I'm also inciting. With only an 18.
As long as we're doing our insights, I have a 30-something.
His features are very difficult to read. The stitching and the sort of like the sallow flesh makes it harder to gauge him. But
I'm very familiar with that.
You are very familiar. You do like this does more or less check out. You feel like that this would make sense. He would feel some kind of kinship with Elise and perhaps want to ensure that Victor doesn't get what she wants. And it would align with how things in Ravenloft tend to somehow work.
What are you going to do to her?
This Elise? No, Victra. Victra. We cannot do anything to the doctor.
I know.
We would have to bring Elise to her to maintain the rules. But once she is in her hands, we would extricate her out. It is risky, but it is all we have. But your arrival tells me there is more to this.
There is.
We lost contact with her some short time ago. We too are looking for her.
Or she did not follow the signs to the madam. Because if so, she has already been taken.
What do you know of Madam Eva? We saw the little trap, coming in.
Yes. She arrived there with an outlander some time ago. Sometime after Victra was tipped off. Someone apparently informed her that Eva was partly responsible for Elise's ejection from Lamordia. She took offense to that personally.
Do you know if she is still alive in a way?
Yeah.
The castle?
Victra would not remove a valuable asset such as this Madame Eva. She likely has a life, if you could call it that, in the Schloss.
What are you doing here? And I ask, meaning this. This is great. I love that you're trying to spoil Victor's plans, but you said it yourself. You can't bring her down. What are you doing?
That is it.
You just try and stick it to her when you can't?
I was brought into this world and I had no control over it. You know?
I know.
I did not ask to be created to be what I am. There is very few places in this world for someone such as me. With my mind, but my body. Victor will not help me. So I must find purpose in life. This is good enough purpose for now.
Ask him about the one that brought.
What?
So we have a sense of what might have set all this in motion. Is this Outlander? Did you see anything of a person? He would have been dressed in green?
Green steel.
I did not see with my own eyes, but my people, they see much. They informed me that this Outlander was a knight who favored the color green. He brought evil with him, mechanical things beyond what is the usual here. They visited Schloss Mordenheim, gained an audience with the doctor.
What's going on in the Schloss? Is he still there?
As far as we know, he got his information from the doctor, from brains. And with this information, he has left.
He's already left.
Damn it. They managed to find a way to get from Madame Ava's brain the information they need. Oh, he's not looking at you. The information they need. Perhaps about items important to us. They've already got a head start yet again.
But I'm also worried what he might have given to Victra or bargained with her.
If he gave her a piece of relic steel,
That's what I'm
we need to
saying.
get that back before leaving.
Yeah.
There's no way that this place can have that blight upon it.
I mean, he obviously gave her Ava
Yes, obviously.
trap as well.
For sure.
That would be enough for her to give him information.
Once Victor knows you're here, she will close the board.
Who's you?
Merrick's.
I was talking to Merrick's.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's true.
Oh, yes.
Probably well.
If Victor learns that Merrick's or Elise is here, there will be no escape. Not this time. She will close the borders, and the eternal blizzard winter will cascade over La Mordia,
Well,
as her rage will also consume it.
we know another way to get those borders open, right, Mouth?
Perhaps.
Yeah, I tried that once. Didn't work out so well.
No.
We cannot do that here.
There are consequences, so it's not a first choice.
Well, the first thing we need to do is figure out where Elise is. Then we need to figure out where the green blade has gone.
Yes. Yes, Eva.
Well, I think
That's Ava's body.
rescuing Ava seems to be the primary purpose here. She knows
Yes.
the information that he has. The question is if we can... Adam's right. If she learns that someone she seeks is here, she'll bring down the borders. So the objective would be to get the brain without alerting her. The fact that the Weepbreaker is no longer here at least means that's not part of the equation, presumably.
Excuse me.
Yes. Axel.
Do you know where Victra, you said?
Victra.
Victra? Do you know where she keeps things like these brains in the Schloss?
She does like to collect body things. Sometimes for research, sometimes for other purposes. But they would be in one of two places. Either in the Hall of Brains or in her laboratory.
Have you been to the castle before yourself?
It is where I was born.
Could you draw us a map?
I can tell you how to get there, and if necessary, I could smuggle you in. But that would be great risk to myself, and while I do owe Merrick's my escape, I am not sure that my recapture is worth that.
That makes sense. Could you then draw us a map of the castle where these places would be? And I mean, she's saying that she's been there.
Yeah.
But
I can do so, but remember this. If the brain is in her laboratory, she will be there. She practically sleeps in that room.
Good.
You are a bold and brave individual. Or a fool.
Yeah.
The line is so thin.
I wish I was back here for you. I wish that I had a plan to get you out of here or to make a difference. Right now,
When I saw your face, that was the first thing I thought. But when I remembered victory is on the hunt, you are here. Surely it can't be a coincidence.
there's more worlds than this one. Bigger worlds. I left before because there were more people I had to take care of and more mistakes I'd made. Right now, if we don't stop this man with the green blade, it could end everything. I should have done something before. But we need to do this now. It's not just a brain. The brain is just a piece of something so much bigger. I know you say you're looking for purpose. I know we can't bring Victor down here. But in helping us, you are helping so many more people than you can imagine. And I have to ask if you will. Even though I don't really have anything I can offer.
You must promise me then, Merix, if this is to happen. If she takes hold of me, if my purpose that you have given me leads to my capture, you will end my existence as you brought it to me. To die in purpose is better to live in bondage.
I will.
Then we have a deal. I shall get you into this lodge, and you will give me purpose.
Do you mind if I take a moment to... there's some things I left here that could be useful.
Whatever you need.
Of course.
He left your wolves as they were.
He's going to go and just be sort of, oh, gotta check that, huh? That Cinemonkey merchant.
No. Do you think Adam would want to be out? You think good idea? Yes. Do we try and take him with it? I don't promise it, but do we try?
We must try.
Yeah.
At least make an attempt.
We don't need the rest of Ava. We can regrow the body, eat the brain.
Speak a little louder for the microphone, said.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So, we are talking quietly, but you do not assume that we are not speaking conversationally as we talk.
Yes.
I didn't think... When I left before, I didn't think I could get out. Really. I don't know what it takes to get someone out of here. It's what we said with Natalia. I don't know if they'll let him leave.
We don't even know how we're going to get out.
Yeah. If we could get him out, I would want to, but I don't know if you can.
So
That's what I hate about this place.
stealth is the obvious answer. If we can get in there, create some sort of distraction, find out when she's not in the laboratory, get the brain, which I'm sure, to me, it would be in her laboratory because she's still experimenting with it, talking to it, getting information, whatever she does with the brains. I don't think it's in the display case. It's still being used. And if we get that, then you can call the mists as long as she hasn't closed the borders, right?
I cannot call the mists here. He's not in the room, right?
You could assume you're off in the quiet corner.
I cannot, sidebar.
He will.
Cannot
He will.
call the mists here because I can't do teleportation magic here.
So you would have to.
We would have to go to the borders
Yes.
and walk through the mist and then go back to Barovia.
Yeah.
And then I would be able to leave him in Barovia and perhaps try to get him out through there. I feel confident, and I could be wrong, but I feel confident that I could get him into Barovia as long as the dark powers don't feel like should be trapped here. He did nothing wrong, right? So
We can get the brain and teleport. So we just need to go somewhere.
cannot tell.
You can teleport to the border.
To the border.
That works. You can teleport.
Oh, yeah.
Or the border. You can teleport within the domain. That's fine.
Yes, I cannot because
Right.
but
We can.
We can.
Okay. So where we get, it would honestly be smart for us to make sure that we study where we want to teleport so that we can quickly get there.
Perhaps build a circle or something there.
Yes.
I mean, presumably you could teleport where you entered.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as that's a familiar location.
Certain somebody has a eidetic memory. So
Fantastic. I was just going to say, I wanted to make sure to nail that down so that there wasn't any issues, but okay.
Do Elise would know where the laboratory is in the Schloss.
Oh, absolutely. You have an entire mental map of the Schloss.
Right. I was mostly asking for a map so he would
Think that you knew
like
everything.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, he's currently drawing.
yeah.
And you know,
but
it changed.
just so I know, the laboratory is where?
To the top floor, the one with the ceiling that opens up.
Right. And so and I'm just trying to think of ways out. Okay.
How about ways in? Can we get into the ceiling?
If it's open, and usually it's open during lightning storm.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, now, both of you have
No.
Co-lightning? Yeah, maybe.
Are you? No.
are familiar with architecture in Ravenloft.
Correct. And I've been to this place as well.
So,
I mean, I'm checking the map and just being, it hasn't changed it much.
Not really.
Schloss means house. What we've seen of it looks like a castle. If we'd started a fire as a diversion, are we endangering that which we seek, or would it not work at all?
I mean, Merrick's and Elise would both know that there are uncountable life forms within Schloss. Now, whether with life to be burned is...
Classic diversion in this case will only warn the Dark Lord that we're here. We need to go completely stealth. Any diversion, even a random fire, will be completely suspected. This is not one of those situations where we can just be like, look, over there. We must actually be able to face Victra if we have to.
Merrick's just going to go back over to Adam. Feel free to continue to think about this, but I would say if I could get you out of Mordenheim, Lemuria, if I could get you out of Lemuria, would you want to leave, or do you have too many things that you're doing here? You said you had...
People have need of me there. Minds are not as developed as mine is. Victra continually tries to recreate the glory of Elise, but I am the closest she has gotten, and I'm sure that you are the reason for that.
But I understand.
Purpose is what I seek. If there is purpose beyond this realm, then I shall fight it. But currently my purpose is for my people.
I think the best thing for your purpose then is to get us in and then you get out. Let us deal with the problems of getting out ourselves.
All right. I'm going to actually turn to all of you. I have to say, I'm just over there. I was trying to come up with a way to kill him if I had to do what he said. But, because I know I can't get him out. But you might be able to. You're more powerful than I am. He doesn't want to leave. He has people here who are depending on him. But is there something either of you, any of you, could do to get him out of there if we're caught?
Teleport him to the border.
I don't know. I can't teleport people. If that's a thing you can do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. All right. I could teleport him either here, because I've been here long enough that it is now a familiar location right here. This room.
So long as the magic cannot be traced, we don't want to give you a dislocation.
Or where we entered the plane, or
That's the better place.
That's the better place.
or at any place on the road to Ludendorff. Perhaps inside the gates.
If you can prepare that and just...
Because we looked at a lot of merchandise.
Yes.
I can pick a window. If she doesn't mind standing looking at trinkets, welcome to cheerful Ludendorff.
The point is we have places to send him.
The emergency meetup should be where we enter, because we could go there and step through.
Okay. Yes.
Agreed.
There's a chance the teleport spell will not work perfectly, as it's not a permanent circle. But
Close enough.
Even if it gets up within miles.
80%. Okay. Like 4 out of 5 chances of this work just fine.
A teleportation circle that gets ritualed, it's more secure.
It's more secure to work, but its power will last for a certain amount of time before it will fade unless it is continually reapplied.
But we're talking days.
I think we're talking a day.
A day.
But yeah.
If we go back to the border and set up that circle, that will guarantee that we will get to this space without any trickery, or at least will increase the odds.
Or I could just take off one of my socks and leave it there, bury it under the snow, put on a new sock. That is now something familiar to me.
Yeah, that actually would increase the return too.
And I'm just going to...
It's the casting time of these teleportations is the thing.
One action.
Okay.
I'm just going to observe that this is precisely why Merrick's was both asking and is a little humbled by the situation, because here's a problem he can't solve that Mystara can solve with his sock.
It's very true.
Taking off his sock. I'm just saying, if you do this, I won't. And I don't say that lightly.
If we're gonna go back, I will leave an arrow there from my quiver that I'm familiar with, and that way we can, if anything were to befall Elminster, God's forbid.
Worst case scenario, I'll fly him out on Bankwell.
To the border.
To the border.
Linked object, yes.
Just check. Yeah, what is it, Axel?
How long has it been for you?
Oh, yeah. Are we time checker?
I think we're nearing the 4-hour mark.
So I will then fast.
All right.
Just want to make sure that nobody forgets about that.
He has to remind me, because technically I can't, because time sense will not allow me to forget.
You're correct, yes.
And also just because of, passage of time and things like that, I'm going to burn another slot on seeming.
Okay, good, yeah.
Which means my power is very low.
All right. I have a map. It's as accurate as I can make by memory. And
How would you smuggle us in?
there are multiple options. One would be you are merchants, or at least you have the appearance of merchants. Victra does receive shipments. And even if it's an unexpected shipment, she would be very unlikely to turn it away, though it does draw attention. Option 2, we enter in through the the trash. Option 3, we enter into the sewers.
I have a terrible idea.
Yeah.
What's that, Axel?
There aren't many of your kind here. Would this be
Merchants with the Saskatoon berries?
That's correct. But perhaps your parts would be of interest.
Mr. Elfier is here.
Are you speaking on behalf of the filed down properties or the appearance of what he appears to be?
I think the latter. Not the,
The refined nature of my heritage.
Yes.
The problem is, again, anything that's too obviously a trap will be sniffed out by this victor.
Perhaps.
I think we must go the old way, through the trash or through the sewers.
I like the trash, but maybe you're a sewer gun.
Yeah, I'm familiar with both, but we'll see. I'm sure that there are wards around this castle that are going to detect hidden objects. So flying up invisibly or any of those sorts of things will probably set off some.
No, that's why.
Yeah.
Why we're going with the person who's.
So
I mean, we saw it coming just in here. I mean,
trash would probably just be like a trash barge because they're on an island.
So, I mean, it would be like an incinerator.
Yeah, trash is also...
So maybe
So you'd have to climb up from the incinerator up. Now, the sewers is where all of the chemicals go.
I'd take the trash.
One more thought here. If we did make an appointment, even just as merchants, that would draw her from the laboratory.
She'd send a servant.
trash belies disease. Saving throws. Sewers.
I can prepare us on the on disease. The chemicals that she'd be putting down the sewers are going to be worse than what you get from some trash.
But the incinerator is the problem. If that thing were to go off while we're in there.
If it were to go off while we're in there, yes, that would be bad.
So we're risking incineration, to be honest.
Yep. And I think merchants is the way.
Is there a scheduled shipment that we can do?
Yeah, what do you think?
There certainly is. We could replace one, yes, but you're thinking,
Now we're talking.
other than that, an emergency shipment of perhaps folk. It is not uncommon for people who are in trouble on their ship to seek out the doctor if they have someone who is shuffling their motor coil or missing part of the flesh suit, as it were.
Yep.
It is very common for people to barge on her doors and ask for her help. She is known to assist in such cases, though I don't envy those who end up receiving the care.
All right, so issues here. This is certainly a solid plan, and frankly, if we go with that plan, you don't have to come with us. So the issue is, we knock on the door, even if she doesn't know it's us, we are coming in and we are having to make our way through the lab, through everything there. The point of the trash or the sewers is being able to take the optimal route to get directly to the laboratory.
Well, I say we take the trash then.
I still prefer the trash.
Trash.
I will do what you think, but if there was a way to not let her know, for example, if she had made an appointment to take a shipment well before being alerted to any of...
She'd leave the lab. The landlord, he never left. We were talking to an illusion of him. They can speak to strangers without actually having to, leave their stronghold. I don't think we're going to lure her out with something relatively mundane.
There was never a chance back in the Empire's days in Imaria. the Diamond Skull would often, they are the rogues of our world, they often never stormed any gates through espionage and infiltration. They would use methods like sewers and trash heaps to belie their networks. From time to time, they would use the infiltration, but the Otherians, the Weavebreakers, they had way too many ways to detect the magic. Which leads me to one point. If there is a chance that Rennick Steel is within those walls and Victra knows how to use it in any capacity, they will sense our dupe. So the trash might be the only way to get in.
I mean, do not
trash
have
that.
true sight, any number of things.
Exactly.
All right. There was one other thing I wanted to ask, but trash?
Trash.
All right, I do. Just before we go, I think we're about ready to put this plan in motion. And I just feel that, obviously, there are things that I haven't told all of you. Our friend thinks I was just here doing research. And you can't be here for 10 years doing anything, not having her know, and you know who I am. I didn't choose to come here. There was an accident in a project I was working on, and I ended up here, and of course the first thing I did was I tried to fix it. And I challenged her, and she took everything and didn't even kill me. It just left me eating rat meat for 5 years. And finally, after I built a little something, she realized I could be useful. She offered to help me find a way home, because I hadn't been able to do that. And I agreed, and I did work with her for a year, and I did help her. And I did things I don't want to remember. And I saw science hurting people. And I saw things I'd done. And in him, I saw that these weren't just tools. And I couldn't. I didn't think I was going to get home. I thought it wasn't worth it. And I left, and then I found our friend. I thought at least I could help her. And then she found me a way home. And I haven't talked about it, because I don't like to remember anything. I don't like the fact that I couldn't fix it here. It's what I told you. I didn't want to leave anyone behind. But I knew I had to fix the mistakes I had made at my home. I had to help all the things I created and left behind. And it's what I told you with that girl. You can't change things here. You can't help everybody. But I still don't like to remember it. But let's go do what we can. So, let's save Ava.
Okay, so what are we trying to do?
We get Ava's brain. We can't beat Victra, or if you can temporarily, that's great. I would love to see her disintegrated.
That would be last resort for us, I believe.
Cannot do that. You cannot do that. They will come for you. You will be trapped here.
But we get the brain, we get out.
The only reason to strike against the owner of the house would be to force a way out of closed borders. That would be the only reason.
I agree.
There's one thing that could get her to leave.
What's that?
It would be... I don't even know if it would be me.
Not a chance.
No?
No,
You're right.
that is not that is not.
No, I agree. I just, as I said, that's the only thing I can think of that would get her first certainly to leave.
I can think of something too.
If we enter dialogue with her,
All right.
we'll take it as
Our goal is to get in and out unobserved without any contact with the owner of the.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Not directed to any one of you in particular. If we're sitting there in a room with 40 brains, can people amongst our party identify the right brain?
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
I have another theory. Give me a moment. I'll cast locate object again for relic steel.
I would say again, you are getting something pulling you in the direction of Schloss Mordenheim.
This isn't good. I just sensed phoretic steel. The pull of the weave is taking me toward Slosh.
even though we think the weed breaker isn't there.
If the weed breaker is gone, he has in fact left Rennick behind. We must get that out, Elf. We cannot let the people of Mordia, already suffering from this darkness, have Rennick put onto this.
I agree.
The magic saves me.
Oh, yes.
No. wait, what level is this? Yeah, keep going.
I believe it's two.
So, Madam Eva, this trap that was set,
Yes.
you said the trap was going to be sprung by your people.
We hide in the room where the Madame does her.
So my question is, getting the brain is great, but it would be nice to get her body too, so we could actually put her back together again. And that would mean taking her body to our point that we're playing through our
It
exit.
would be a simple matter for me to let my people know to do so.
We just have to tend it.
But we'd have to tone it.
But as soon as Victor learns that the madam is no longer where she is supposed to be, usually she's not with her, she will suspect something.
Yes.
Can you do some sort of communication with Adam if he's staying here? Some sort of a message spell? Or,
Ascending spell.
Oh, yeah, sending spell is not hard to do.
there you go.
As in basically now.
Yeah.
Whose brain is in Madame Ava's body right now?
The peasant girl. Her father was horribly injured, and the doctor said that she would fix him if she did this small task for her
So we cannot.
Where is her body?
in the laboratory.
We bring that body as man.
Okay, it's time to make a shopping list. I'm running up.
Okay. So,
So we got to grab the young body. Oh, but that's probably maybe
Young body.
Eva's in the young body.
could be. That would be convenient. We could help.
So Eva could be in the young body.
You know how to do the swapperoo?
I mean,
No is a little bit of a stretch, but I could do my best. I have
Yes, swapper. I believe that is what the process is called.
Doctor did that.
Dr.
Swapperoo.
I would need help by if we could at least sample. All right. We could plan about this for hours.
Yes.
We don't have, I mean,
We don't have the time.
yeah. So I think we're planning the trash plan. We are planning to do ascending. If you can connect me in some way, basically give me the information needed to be able to do ascending to whoever it would be who would put this in motion.
Where would you like us to bring you the madam?
We'll identify the spot because it's where he's burying a stinky sock. And then do we have any other preparations? Because again, we can sit here and plan, but we got to do this.
I have nothing to prepare for moving through a trash
Okay.
chute or whatever.
It'll be a shoot, yeah.
I'm ready.
Well,
All right.
Let's go.
Then let's go. And, I'm just going to awkwardly put my hand on his shoulder and just say, thank you. I'll do more.
Consider this recompense for what she made you do. Very well then. We shall all Mordenheim and see you next session.